What was the first comic book film that you were exposed to? Perhaps it was Wesley Snipes Blade, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the many iterations of Batman, or maybe the old Superman. The matter is that you remember the excitement that it brought you to be taken into this world where anything seems possible. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the 2005 Fantastic Four film. For many, this was one of their first entries into comic book films. For me, this was one of my first comic book films I had ever watched, and to this day, it holds a special place in my heart. I want to talk about the beginning of this film, and how it portrays these characters before they become their powered up selves. This film has Reed Richards not in the best state of his life. He was bankrupt and he needed the funds for his project. The person that he goes to help fund his project is none other than Victor Von Doom. The beginning of this film shows the heroes and Doom before they all unleash their powers. In this film, Sue and Reed are broken up and she works for Doom as his assistant, and also Doom and Sue are together to begin this film. Sue and Reed's relationship at the beginning of the film is not good. She despises him and belittles him. As the film progresses, she starts to see Doom for the person that he is and starts to fall in love with Reed once again. This film shows us the origins of this group of heroes and villains when Doom grants Reed access to his space station to conduct his research. When they are getting ready to launch into space to head to the space station, this is where we get our first glimpse of the Four altogether. We all know the origin of the Fantastic Four. The cosmic storm is a few hours ahead of where Reed had anticipated it to be, and the storm hits the space station. Everyone who is on the space station gets hit, and this is how they get their powers, as well as in the comics. Seeing the Four as well as Doom start to realize and change into their powered forms is one thing that this film does good, and them navigating and adjusting to their new life is also what is done well. Later in this film, Reed is doing research and conducting tests on the group to see the extent of their powers and if they are able to get rid of them. Anytime Johnny catches fire, his clothes burn off. Reed also develops suits for them to wear with their powers. Now back to when they learn they have powers. Reed and Sue end up arguing as they always do, and then Sue turns invisible. Reed tries to tell her, but she doesn't bat an eye. She eventually sees, or in this case, doesn't see herself. She knocks a bottle on the ground and Reed stretches to grab it, and this is the first time they both use their powers. Johnny comes into the room and shows them what he can do using his thumbs as a lighter. Johnny learns about his powers when he is skiing with the girl and he suddenly catches fire and makes a hole in the snow, and this is how he finds out he has powers. They all go look for Ben in his room, but the door is locked. Reed uses his new arm to unlock it, but it is too late. He is gone. Ben Green transforms into the Thing and goes to see his wife, but she does not want anything to do with him and she freaks out. Ben is devastated by this. He goes to a bridge and contemplates ending his life. Another man is about to do the same thing, but when Ben sees this, he tries to help the man, but the man is scared because of his appearance. Ben gets him onto the bridge, but not before a semi-truck comes racing at them. Ben stops the semi-truck from hitting the man, and this causes commotion on the bridge. The rest of the group gets there, and there is commotion on the bridge. The group does their best as fire breaks out and a fire truck hangs off the bridge. They end up saving the lives of the people on the bridge and are heroes. The media declares them the Fantastic Four. I consider this part of the film as part of their origin. I believe this because before the bridge scene, nobody knew who they were. As a group, they still did not know the extent of their newfound powers and that they would be able to save these people and be viewed as heroes. They also did not have a name until the media declared them the Fantastic Four. One thing that this film does differently is the origin of how Doom gets his powers. In the film, it is through the storm, just like the Fantastic Four. In the comics, Doom obtains his powers from a mix of sorcery and technology. Doom is also from the small country of Latveria, but there is no mention of Latveria in this film. Doom's comic origins are devastating and tragic, and I will go into this in a future video, but for now, we will move on. Back to the film. Doom's look in this film is pretty good. I mean, it's better than that one look. Doom's character wasn't bad in this film, but it could have been better. Doom's motivation in this film was all about him obtaining power and ruling because that's what he wanted. Doom was strong in this film, and they took more of the technology route to power in this film. Doom doesn't use sorcery at all that I can recall. Doom is not anywhere near his comic self of God Emperor Doom level in this film, but he is also not either a scrub. It took the whole Four and for Johnny to go supernova for them to end up defeating Doom. At least the audience thinks. Who knows, maybe this Doom may show back up in the MCU before the multiverse saga concludes, only time will tell. Ben and Johnny have a special relationship in this film. When Ben turns into the Thing, Johnny is always berating him and making fun of him. Johnny uses their newfound powers as a way to be a quote celebrity, and the group does not like this, even less Ben. By the end of the film, they do end up making up, and we can see that Johnny is maturing more, and Ben is taking a liking to that. The cast was also good in this film. Ian Grunford as Reed Richards was a good casting, and maybe we will see him in an upcoming version of the Council of Reeds if that is ever incorporated. Chris Evans as Johnny Storm was also a great casting, and he played the role great. It was good to see him reprise his role in Deadpool and Wolverine. Jessica Alba as Susan Storm was also a good casting. It is unlikely, but I hope that we do see her back in the role one day. Michael Chiklis was also a good casting as a Thing, and he executed the role of Ben Grimm great. The one flaw that many had with this film was the design of the Thing, as it was not comic accurate, but it also was not as bad as people initially made it. Jolie McMahon was a good casting for Doom, and in my opinion, did a great job at portraying Doom as they wanted in this film. Overall, the casting for this film was solid all around. The final battle for this film is a huge one. Doom starts to attack the city of New York. Ben Grimm is there and does try to stop him. This is after Victor helps Ben to get rid of his powers as he had wished for, but Doom sets this up for him to get even more powerful, resulting in him becoming Dr. Doom. Ben does everything he can to try to stop him, even throwing a car at him. Eventually, the rest of the group gets there and they have an intense fight with Doom. Doom fills himself with electrical power and starts to take on the heroes. They do what they can until Reed holds Doom and tells Johnny to go supernova. This is when Johnny storms a tornado and whatever is inside it burns. Sue does what she can to contain the fire until Johnny is done. After this, Doom is still intact and alive until Reed shoots him with water from a fire hydrant, and this freezes because when you wrap and cool hot metal, it freezes in place. They defeat Doom and the city applauds them. Doom is locked away and we are to believe that he is no longer a threat for now. This film for many was their first entry into the Marvel Universe, and it has a special place in their hearts. For me, this was one of the first Marvel films that I was introduced to, alongside Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. This early era of Marvel will always hold a special place in my heart, as it will to all, because of what it did to introduce us to this world, and the worlds of characters that later turned into the X-Men and MCU films. This film turns 20 this year, and it is amazing to see that it has aged well. Knowing that there is a chance, a small chance, that these characters could show up in Secret Wars is exciting to ponder. Follow us on XF Films HQ. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and hit the subscribe button to help the channel grow. Turn on notifications to never miss an upload, and until next time, God bless. See you soon.